Over the past 3 years, I've audited countless e-commerce brands running Google Ads, brands ranging from measly $30,000 to $50,000 per month to also brands doing over $1 million to $5 million per month in revenue. And through this analysis, I've boiled down 5 straightforward signs that your Google Ads strategy probably sucks. Now, with that, let's start off with the first sure tell sign that your ad strategy sucks and probably needs to be redone, and it is constant fluctuations. Now, don't get me wrong, with Google Ads, or for that matter, any ad platform, fluctuations are a part of the game. You might face anywhere between 5 to 10% all the way up to 40% in terms of revenue fluctuations. That's fairly normal. However, when it starts being a situation where on a single day you do $3,000, $5,000 in revenue, and then the very next day you're barely at $300, that's when there's a little bit of a deeper issue. And usually, from my experience, what this means is that your foundation strategy is fairly weak. And this usually happens because the audience that you're currently targeting is not a high quality audience. Now, if your brand is consistently getting good data, if it's able to store that data properly via proper conversion tracking, only then is it able to reuse that data to find the same level of audience quality or even a better quality of audience every single day. So the best approach to kind of fix this situation is to take a step back and go into the fundamentals and the foundations. Look deep into your actual funnel, including things like the product feed, the landing page, and use the insights section from your Google Ads account to make the landing page and the back end much better, because fixing the foundation is the first step towards fixing these constant fluctuations. But the second biggest giveaway sign that your ad strategy probably sucks is that the campaigns are underperforming without any types of external issues. Now, there can be a variety of different things which cause your campaigns and your overall ad account to start suffering in terms of the overall revenue. It could be things like seasonality of your products. It could be things like other ad platform changes, or it could also be things like the website changes you made recently, or it could be things like maybe conversion tracking broke all of a sudden. All these things that are external can impact sales. And if you did something externally and that's when sales stopped coming in or they slowed down, then you know already why your ad strategy is not working. However, on the other hand, if you did none of these things, if everything's fairly steady, if there were no big changes made and your ad strategy has still dropped off for more than 7 days, then the issue might be just the fact that your ad strategy is not so good anymore. And the best approach here is to essentially go back into your market, first of all, within your website, and understand if you made any types of significant changes in the last 3, 5, 7, 14 days, which may have caused this drop in the overall revenue or the results. If you have not made any types of changes at all and it's still in this situation, in that case, you might need to do a little bit more market research to figure out if maybe new competitors entered the market, or maybe some Google Merchant Center issues or policy violations came about in the back end, which you're not aware of, and now suddenly your bestsellers are not even showing anymore. All these things can cause your campaigns to just fall off a cliff from the Google Ads side without any big external issues. But it's a kind of the common problem we see for a lot of the brands we handle under my agency, Your Marketing, which you need extra help scaling your brand to the next level. Go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me, and let's see if we can potentially work together and make that happen. But the third biggest sign that your ad strategy probably sucks is that your CPCs or cost per purchases are increasing while your ROAS is decreasing. And this can happen all of a sudden or even over time, where naturally what you start to see is that your cost per link click is going up. It's going up. As a result, your cost per acquisition, your cost per purchase is also starting to go up. And your ROAS, on the other hand, is starting to drop. You're starting to become more unprofitable. Usually, this is caused because your competition is now starting to beat your brand within the auctions, or your ad strategy is simply becoming too weak, is becoming outdated, especially if you haven't changed it in a long period of time. But don't get this situation twisted with the other situation where the cost per link click is going up, cost per purchase is slightly going up, or maybe it's steady, but the ROAS is also going up. Because if this is your situation, then it's not a bad thing for your ROAS to go up. Naturally, as you scale your ad spend, as you start reaching a bigger pool of an audience, your CPCs will start to go up, especially if your product feed and foundations are on point. But if the ROAS is dropping, then again, these solutions can't help. The fourth biggest sign that your ad strategy sucks is campaign limitations coming up all of a sudden. Things such as limited by target, limited by budget, limited by bid strategy, limited by search volume. Any of these things or more indicate that there's some kind of gap or flaw within your campaign approach. And this is a direct indicator that your approach and strategy is essentially lacking somewhere. So in a situation like this, the best way to approach this is by first understanding which limitation your campaigns are facing, whether it's limited by target, budget, bid strategy, or just the search volume. And then from there, you can attack each one of these accordingly. Whatever you do here, make sure you're profitable first and foremost, because if you try to give Google too much leeway, especially if you're unprofitable, Google will end up wasting a lot of your ad spend and it will cause the results to plunge even more. But the final biggest telltale sign that your campaign strategy sucks is that everything is unprofitable for an extended period of time. Now, this is pretty straightforward, but if things, after doing everything I just told you, after doing everything else as well, trying new approaches, things are unprofitable for more than 7, 14, 21 days, then probably there's a bigger issue going on. And naturally, I personally like to wait around 7 days of unprofitability, depending on a daily budget, before I really start to kind of make some drastic changes. But if it's been over 7 days, things don't look any better, that's when you need to kind of dig a bit deeper into all aspects of your business and then slowly hone in on the specific issue that's causing your sales to drop, including market research, seasonality, and then finally looking into Google Ads itself, the campaign approaches, so on and so forth. This is normally what we do and the process we follow anytime we're working with a brand or my agency, which starts to have slowdown of sales, or if a brand comes to us with slowing sales. But if you run a brand, you need extra help scaling to the next level with Google, again, go on to my website at yourmarketing.com, schedule a completely free call, and let's see if we can work together and make that happen. But check out this video right here on a case study I just did of an e-commerce brand where he exploded to multi-7 figures after troubleshooting it with these 5 signs right here.